I failed big, and I failed very publicly, and I failed at marriage.
It's recommended that you all become involved in this new drama right away, as rumors are circulating that Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union will soon file for divorce. Because Gabrielle is now coming out to expose Dwayne for cheating on her, the situation is even more intense than before. It also turns out that Dwayne has been having affairs with half of the Hollywood ladies while flinging it all over the city. Gabrielle is now making outrageous accusations that you won't believe, which makes this situation a boiling mess.
I'm saying that because of the artist that I just spoke to not that long ago that got invited to a party at their house. Everything was cool up front till they went to the back and there was a bunch of old and young boys back there, all naked in the Wade house. So I find it funny that Gabrielle's sitting there talking about Boosie.
Now, don't do a Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith on us, Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. It's amazing how we've been witnessing all of the picture-perfect Hollywood unions and partnerships disintegrate in 2023 and learning that things aren't always as perfect on the inside as we believe them to be. This was initially demonstrated by Will and Jada, and it appears that Gabrielle and Dwayne are going to follow in their clumsy little footsteps. Girl, this narrative is incredibly messy. As one of the most well-known couples in Hollywood, Gabrielle and Dwayne were expected to live happily ever after as husband and wife and have a fairy tale ending. We adore them together, but that doesn't mean we can't acknowledge that during the years of their marriage, they did a few strange things that made people kind of look the other way. Let's go back to 2007, the year when Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union met. For the two of them, romantic life was a little more difficult back then. Dwayne was married to his high school love, Zaya, while Gabrielle was in a relationship. This is when the intriguing part comes in. Gabrielle abandoned her romance shortly after D. Wade made the decision to dissolve his union with Zaya. Naturally, the gossip machine went into overdrive, speculating that they may have had a relationship while still dating other people. However, they both steadfastly denied having any hanky-panky during their partnerships. Although Dwayne has made it fairly evident that Gabrielle had no influence in their divorce, many people have never really accepted The story of the divorce has nothing to do with Gabrielle. If you ask me, that appeared to be a bit of a face-saving tactic. And the real deal is this. 2010 marked the year when Dwayne and Gabrielle made their relationship public, along with the completion of his divorce from Zaya. Just a coincidence? It looks suspicious to me. Not surprised, Zaya was not having any of it. She even filed a lawsuit against Dwayne and Gabrielle because she thought they played a part in their marriage falling apart. She sued, saying their relationship was causing her and her children a great deal of distress. However, as fate would have it, love won out and the lawsuit was dismissed. At least for a little while. The whole issue surrounding the adultery began shortly after that. There were rumors that Dwayne had stepped out on Gabrielle with a number of women, including Lauren Lundell, an actress. Receipts were flying everywhere, demonstrating that Dwayne was flinging it all throughout town, if you know what I mean. This was the first significant drama in their relationship. In fact, one of his side characters admitted, "I too had my situation with Dwayne. He is amazing in bed, no doubt about it. But I could never take him seriously the way Gabrielle does. He constantly flies bees away and sleeps with them. When things are not as they seem, they like to pretend to be Michelle and Barack. They have to appear to prove to the media that they are real every time a rumor of any kind surface. It's safe to say that he has a lot of relationships with girls, and everyone who interacts with him is aware of this. Gabrielle is either acting foolishly or she is aware of this and doesn't care, which is difficult for me to accept. However, because Gabrielle and Dwayne were so focused on establishing their flawlessness and status as the ultimate power couple, they never responded to the accusations. But the bombshell arrived next. 2013 saw their breakup, but they made up a few months later in November. But there was a major bump in their reunion tale. Hold the phone. It turns out that during their separation, Dwayne fathered a child with Asa McCoyer, a close friend of his for a long time. The timing was now a cause for concern. How on earth could he have gotten someone pregnant so soon after Gabrielle's breakup? People began to wonder if Dwayne and Asia had been involved in something secretive all along. It wouldn't be shocking if he and Asia were more than simply pals throughout his time with Gabrielle, considering his history of recurrent infidelity. There were discussions over the existence of a minor issue, if you understand what I mean. Dwayne also claims that he and Gabrielle had reconciled once he learned that Asia was expecting his kid. He was afraid to inform her, though, as he was once more afraid that she would leave him and that their relationship would end permanently. It was one of the toughest things he had ever had to do, he added, to inform Gabrielle.
Harder for you to sit down and have a conversation and to tell her that something had happened outside the relationship or losing the finals?
Way harder to have a conversation with my now wife.
Gabrielle was understandably hurt by this betrayal, but she refused to discuss it in public until a few months ago, saying that I was devastated would be like choosing a convenient word from a low shelf. Some strangers, individuals I will never meet, have expressed disappointment that I haven't discussed that trauma with them before. I haven't had words, and I'm not sure I have now, even after countless sessions of therapy. However, as I previously mentioned, she and Dwayne reconciled and went on to tie the knot a few months later. People started discussing about how, despite what was initially believed to be her ignorance, she was likely aware that Dwayne was cheating on her the entire time. People also thought it was strange that she and Dwayne hardly mentioned a child named Xavier. With Dwayne's oldest two children, Zaya and Zaya, they like to portray themselves as the ideal mixed family, but it seems like they enjoy acting as though Xavier doesn't exist. If you find that strange, the marriage took a turn for the worst when Gabrielle disclosed in an interview that she and Dwayne divided all of their expenses equally.
To say I'm head of household because in this household we split everything 50-50, but in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts this, there's always this like gorilla on your back that it is like, you better work, bitch. You better work. You know, you gonna sleep in?
Now that the cost of life has caused us regular people to split bills, shipping bills are not as bizarre or weird as you might imagine. That being said, these two are millionaires, so they're not exactly your typical pair. Dwayne earns far more than Gabrielle does, even at that. His net worth is $170 million, whereas hers is only approximately $40 million, meaning that he is worth more than 4 times hers. Therefore, it seems a little unjust for them to cut corners on everything, when given his higher income, he ought to be paying more. If you think that's strange, it gets much worse than that. In an interview, Dwayne disclosed that Gabrielle was the one who had pushed on a 50-50 split since he had said something during a heated dispute that had offended her.
We decided together, because I think I said one time we was in Miami, I said something about it being my house that I paid for. My wife looked at me, she was like, you will never say that to me again when it's something that we share. And so my wife was like, that when we moved to LA, I got half on it. You will never say my house again.
Supporters interpreted this to suggest that she felt extremely threatened financially by him during their marriage, which is why she felt compelled to go above and above to ensure he would never again throw money in her face. She has also acknowledged experiencing anxiety during months when her income was low, and she found it difficult to pay for half of the bills. That's just crazy, child. And this caused certain feelings among people regarding the marriage. Gabrielle, however, defended their 50-50th choice, stating that it was what kept their marriage together. She stated, "We're very open about the fact that this is our second marriage for each of us. Our initial attempt was not successful. Being more equitable and cooperative can be achieved in another way. We come to a compromise, listen, and humble ourselves." In a different interview, she stated, "A prenup at my insistence will be the biggest difference between this marriage and the last marriage. I'm here for you and you're here for me. So everyone should enter a relationship with the understanding that when you have your own things, you don't have to worry about anyone else's. In addition, I have never witnessed Dwayne balance a checkbook, so I have to safeguard my belongings. It is the upcoming trend." She seemed to be hinting that Dwayne wasn't exactly fiscally responsible, which upset the supporters and made things worse. It was obvious that these two's marriage depended heavily on money and that it shaped every aspect of their relationship. But it gets even uglier if you believe that was already awful. Because Gabrielle and Dwayne enjoy engaging in some odd behaviors, such as hosting orgies and pool parties where they would all be nude. Jaguar Wright came out last year.
Over to the Wade house.
Energy transfers.
And I'm not saying that because of their trans daughter. I'm saying that because of the artist that I just spoke to not that long ago that got invited to a party at their house. Everything was cool up front till they went to the back and there was a bunch of old fucking young boys back there, all naked in the Wade house. So I find it funny that Gabrielle's sitting there talking about Boosie.
However, things have just gotten hotter since, according to the gossip blog Denua, Dwayne is cheating on Gabrielle, and Gabrielle is constantly getting hurt because of it. As a result, things are very precarious between Gabrielle and Dwayne right now. You guys already know that Demoy is accurate when it comes to tea, and we have proof that what they say is true. Dwayne is very close to a woman, not Gabrielle, according to the website. During my 2 hours there, he was seen approaching her closely and having a very private conversation with her. On Instagram, Gabrielle has some fascinating posts as well. Evolution is the only possibility in the presence of truth, openness, and clarity. I would do anything to help Gabrielle find peace. She recently shared a picture of her daughter on Snapchat. Dwayne is now detected sliding. An informant claims that Gabrielle appears to be frustrated with Dwayne's actions since, despite her best efforts, he has refused to halt his extramarital affairs. Because of the intense drama that has developed between them, Gabrielle has decided to break things off for her own mental health. Furthermore, their daughter Kavia is becoming older and beginning to notice things, and the insider disclosed that Gabrielle does not want to normalize being with an unfaithful father. Fans have noted that Dwayne and Gabrielle have both stopped wearing their wedding rings, which is an intriguing development that suggests their marriage is definitely in crisis mode. You can rely on the fans to share their thoughts on this situation. And they did not let down with remarks like, "I don't feel bad for Gabrielle." Having seen him withhold the children from her, she was aware of how disrespectful he was to his first wife and chose to step in instead of speaking up. Thus, women pick what they are willing to put up with, and that tells men how to treat them. The way they had first gotten together told him right away that she respected herself less than she did him. The partnership had a lot of warning signs. It says it all if a man who is meant to be your lover is so eager to move on and become pregnant with someone else while you were away. To be completely honest, I don't feel sorry for her because it was she who treated his ex-wife disrespectfully regarding their son. She also claimed that although she had cheated on her ex several times, it was only karma. Gabrielle is receiving a lot of flack for this in the comments, but I'm curious what you guys think. Do you believe Gabrielle is experiencing karma, or that she has no right to be in this situation at all? Do you guys also believe that she will actually leave Dwayne, or do you believe that she will ultimately win him back? Do you believe that she will actually part ways with Dwayne, or that she will ultimately decide to win him back? Leave a comment below with your opinions, then watch this next video.